Episode 23, Speedwalking and Tracksuits with Jeremy. And here's my guest, the last guest of the first season, Erick Stewart, with that dope Operation Fit tracksuit. I didn't get an Operation Fit tracksuit.
You got to put in the work, Jack.
I get an Operation
You got to put in the
work. Operation Fat tracksuit.
That's why we're outside, right?
Yes.
Sweet.
So, Erick, I hear you're the new president of the Battle Creek Unlimited Board, yeah?
The chair.
Yes.
And that's fun. Yeah, I've been doing that for about a year now. I lose track because it's about the work and beautiful Battle Creek. So
a year already, jeez.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Maybe I didn't just hear about it, but I just mentioned it to you. That's awesome.
Yeah, it goes by quick. But, economic development in this town happens quick. We got a lot of work to do. And those folks, it's a great team and a great time to be in Battle Creek.
Heck yeah, it is. So we're going to walk downtown and maybe talk about some of the projects that are going on, talk about some of the stuff that we like, talk about some of our hopes and dreams. Ooh, I never see this door open.
Yeah.
Is that the brothel? There's this old brothel here that Randy Case owns, and I think that's it. Should we just go in, act like we own the place?
The developer's in there, so on the way back. That's funny how I know what's going on in the creepy looking building. But that's a good point though. We're getting a lot of good developer activity. We have to take care of the community side of things, and we have buildings from the 1800s. The beautiful thing about this street is, and we have beautiful history in Battle Creek.
We do.
This street was the first safety net for slaves in the Underground Railroad before they went to Canada.
Right across the street, Erastus Hussey.
Yes, that building may have been a part of that. So, we got this history here that are part of the fabric of who we are, where we're going, where we've been, and not many towns have a preserved history that they can be proud of.
Yeah.
It's usually some tragedy or something like that. Now, look, every town has their issues and stuff like that and what have you, but it's what you do next with that history that counts. And that's where we are right now. But that building is a testament to, what we have available and the bright future we have ahead of us. Absolutely.
I just took a field trip down here with my daughter's second grade class, and it's pretty cool what they teach second graders about the history of Battle Creek. We go to Erastus Hussey's general store, down to the Sojourner Truth Monument, back over to the Underground Railroad Monument, and those kids learn a lot more in second grade than I remember learning in second grade about our history.
Right.
I think that's pretty cool. So a thing I like to do to not stop the traffic is I walk in place. Now I know you're too cool for this shit, but I'm
I'll do anything.
I walk in place to make people laugh at the crosswalk, because I think they're like, who is that silly fucker?
The cool thing about healthy is it's constant motion, right?
Absolutely.
So, I think we can go.
That looks like we can. I was listening to a podcast yesterday called Smartless.
Yeah.
And they interviewed an old musician, Paul Anka. And he's like 83 years old, still touring.
Yep.
And he's Jason Bateman's father-in-law.
Oh.
And he asked him, I just learned that too, how do you keep going? You're 83 years old, you're touring 70 times a year. And he just said, well, you just keep going.
Yep.
If you stop, then you're done. Yep. And that made me feel good about my retirement, because I don't know that I'll be doing that. So I'm just gonna have to keep going.
I know a bunch of, including my parents, 80 somethings that have their health and have the fortitude to keep going at the level they were going before. And it's all about these healthy choices we make when we're our age. And the stick-to-itiveness and daily walks and things of that nature. My parents get up every day and still walk 2 miles.
Dude, the daily walk, I've been doing this for a couple of months now. I slipped off for about a week, but I have never felt better just going for a walk.
That's right.
It's not a high-intensity workout.
Look, you don't have to be one of these narcissistic workouts. Nothing's wrong with that. But if you eat cleanly the majority of the week, get some exercise in, and focus on your mental health, I think that's part of the start to that pattern that gives you that longevity.
Indeed. Yeah, so tell me about some, are there any projects about going on that maybe maybe the 7 watchers of this podcast haven't heard about.
Well, you know what? 7 watchers are important because 7 watchers tell 7 other people, and those people tell other people.
That's right.
That's how this town works.
That's
because,
right.
Look, if we can get the positive information to be as viral as the negative,
Uh-huh.
I mean, if I took off all my clothes right here, that would be the best episode you've ever had. For a variety of reasons.
Positive or negative. Positive or negative.
Any attention is good attention, depending on who you are. So
I don't think my camera's that big, Eric. I'm just messing with you.
So, it's kind of cool. We have a lot of things happening and a lot of things popping. If we can, turn around and see kind of the new development, I think probably all your watchers have been to New Holland Brewery.
Oh, yeah.
And
I'm going to walk backwards real quick just to
absolutely
see that guy. That's I've been there a few times now. We did we did a beer week last week. Justin Andert and John Hart and I, and we celebrated craft beer, but also did a brew bus tour, which was awesome, and they were just an excellent partner. I mean, we used to we met at a brewery, Arcadia Brewery. We used to only have one for 15 years.
Absolutely.
And now we have 3 in town.
Yeah,
that's
so
sweet.
Between them, Handmap, our friends at Territorial, and the other folks coming online, that's just on the brew side. When you think the cuisine side, we're going to make that equally as dynamic downtown, where you have a ton of food choices. And then guess what? We got a secret piece coming that's going to give you outdoor food choices as well. So if you can,
are we allowed to talk about that one yet?
You know what? Let's see what happens.
I said I wouldn't. So
because if you talk about it too early, folks try and kind of get in the way. Let's get the work done.
The attention span is not there.
Yeah, let's get the work done first, and everybody can participate. There's room for everyone.
I'm excited about that project.
So, yeah, and can you imagine? You and I bring our families downtown. We got kids, right? We went through our stage coming down here. It ain't about boozing it up no more or anything like that.
Yep.
Although anybody can have a walkable beer. Now that we're going to have a social district, right?
Yep.
And then you have your cocktail, your family, whatever, your mocktail, whatever it is. We come down and we might want to go to Tori Taco. Tori Taco's booked. We go to New Holland. New Holland's busy. Oh, man. Handmap, has a different cuisine. Hey, let's go sit outside and chill.
Exactly.
And so our families could do that, and it's real good.
This place is all white boxed and ready right here.
Yep.
What's that? Let's see, 99 Michigan Avenue, I think.
Look, I only know this by what it used to be.
This was 103.
Yeah.
I'll never forget 103. I spent a lot of time at that place.
You and I spent a lot of talking time
That's
and strategizing at 103.
I did. Me and some friends built the BC Mams there.
You built. I remember when the day you told me we were in there over a Whitson, and you said, I'm building this club, and it's going to be about growing mustaches on men and women. I said, okay. And if you know anything about Jeremy, he'll try anything 3 times. So the first time around, it seems extremely crazy. But, you got a following of how many people? You might have had 4,000 or 5,000 people half the town?
I mean, we've certainly, and I say we lightly because it's not even we anymore. Yeah. It's others, and I'm not even any. Yeah. I have no sort of leadership in the BC Mams currently, so I'm not taking any credit for what they're doing today. But I think Lila-Palooza brings out anywhere from 8,000 to 13,000 people every year.
The raft race, right?
Yeah, we haven't done that in a couple of years, but we brought it up, bring out 1,000 to 2,000 people on the river.
Yep.
We've got the cardboard sled race.
Yep.
That's 1,000 to 2,000 people. I like the let's get 2,000 people together.
Yeah.
Every couple weeks.
Yep.
And every time that happens, it's like going to Meijer. I don't know half or more of the people. Yeah. I'm always surprised at how many people are here that I have no idea who they are.
And you know what I appreciate about BC Mams and the group? It's a group of cool people, and we all have families, and it creates a family-friendly environment. I mean, I go to a couple of big cities, and you can go to a beer garden, but I've never been to a beer festival or a beer garden where I could just relax with my family and chill. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, and you almost feel like they're safe, too, around everybody else because there's so many kids playing.
And the beautiful thing about Battle Creek is you know everybody. Even the new people, you get to know people. And it's a great environment to, raise a family. My older kids are moved away, but we wouldn't miss Lollapalooza.
Right.
We wouldn't miss, the raft races and things of that nature. So, it's groups like that. We're talking about BC Mams, but there's a variety of groups in this town that have the same density to create a difference. The folks at Cafe Rica with the bazaar
absolutely
have gotten sponsorship from BCU and some other folks. And look at that. Public-private partnerships work for the betterment of our families and our community.
They absolutely
we got to do more of that. That's
I started partnering with the small business development team, and it's a great partnership. We do events downtown together, bring people together, partnering with Cafe Rica on Restaurant Week, partnering with Justin Andert and Color of the Creek and his stuff, part of the Arts and Culture Collective. I think it's, some people don't want to, it's almost like a competition thing where they don't want to help build something new because they're afraid that their piece is going to diminish. And you know what? It's true. Your piece might diminish right now, but
it's going to be part of a bigger pot.
But collectively, there's going to be a bigger pot.
Yeah, and what we've just described and all the fun stuff for the past 5 minutes since we were downtown, now we're crossing the river. In that 5-minute span, everything we've talked about is all economic development.
Yes.
And so to bring it back home, those are the things we focus on in the BCU boardroom. And when I'm in this community and you see me jotting around or riding down the street, and I'm like, what is Erick Stewart doing? I am bridging those gaps between the grassroots people, those ideas, and explaining what true economic development feels like and looks like.
Yes.
Okay? It's not textbook.
No.
You got to do some swirly stuff.
It's a lot of relationships.
But if everybody plays their role, we're good.
A lot of conversations with people, a lot of getting to know people and figuring out what their passions are, and then connecting people. I'm more of a connector than I am anything. Hey, you want to do this? I know some people that are doing this. You should get together with them. I bet it'll be sweeter if you do.
And that's where your history, I got to get my Instagram with you. There we go. But that's where...
Let's see here.
We got a little flooding.
I don't want to do that. We'll go up here and maybe across that other one.
That's what it's all about, Jay, and I don't have to tell you because, we've been talking that talk, but as we get new people coming into town and new ideas and things of that nature, we can overlay our veteran history over what's happening next.
I think about that because I've been active now in my hometown for about 20 years, and I left for about 10, and it took me a while to find my path, and there's a lot of young people that are back here reminding me of myself.
Yes.
And I have to remind myself to get out of the way.
Yes.
Because I was upset when people were in my way. Or, and not like in my way like I'm a bulldozer, but more like I got a lot of no's back in the day. So you can't do that. We're not going to do that. And I was like, well, okay, I'm not asking.
Right.
I'm going to tinker around with my town.
Yep.
I'd like it to be easier, but if you don't want to make it easier, cool. I'm still going to tinker around. Because I can. I just won't have the resources or I won't have your help cutting red tape. But I've been trying to just help some young people in their 20s, like circumnavigate barriers. And also learn that, don't take no for an answer.
That's right.
No is that's just an easy way for some people who maybe already have a busy day to not have to deal with your new idea because they get 1,000 new ideas every day and they still have to do their regular day job. Mm-hmm. But don't just take no. This group is in charge of what I can do.
Sure.
Ask a different question.
Mm-hmm. I think that the thing that brings it home for me in terms of what we're talking about is you have empathy. That whole soliloquy was about empathy. And you have empathy for what it was like when you were 20, trying to change things and do things in your community. And, you might not have had the support. And the supporters in there, what you termed as lack of support, it might not be your time. And you spend time going, this is how this works. I want your new idea. Let's bring that to the table and what have you. And that's how you get you don't have a generational gap and you lose momentum, because it's all about momentum we're talking about today, right? And I say that in a variety of rooms. Anything that squelches momentum, we got to eliminate. So
I think there's some people who are afraid of community failure, and so they don't let new people even start. They don't let them fail. And
Well,
everything I've ever done that's succeeded is because of all the failures before it.
Thank you. In my life, failure has been good because it's a teachable moment. And the thing about failure is not the failure itself, it's what you do next.
Yeah.
It's a learning opportunity, and it's who's going to be around you when that failure happens to help you.
Yep.
Those are your true compliments to what we're talking about in terms of progressive development in any organization, in any town, or any family. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So that's a common denominator, and we got to look for that. We got to cultivate that, and we have to stop trafficking in mediocrity and start trafficking in creative thinking, forward movement, and creating an avenue where all people can participate in momentum.
I think a thing I like to fan, but somebody's mowing the lawn in the background.
Somebody's got to, hey, this is real world stuff.
This is what happens.
If you're out and about,
hopefully,
and not sitting behind your desk making decisions, you're gonna run into a lawnmower or two. Okay, and so that's how you know you're doing the work.
I mean, I find at least one pair of panties on the street every time I do one of these walks.
I'm not looking for panties, Jeremy. I would never see them. So you gotta get your mind focused on the right.
They're
stuff.
always on the ground.
Like, for real?
There's always one.
I'm like, that's a thing.
This was starting to get too serious. People were getting like, man, this one went a little serious.
This conversation is not going to switch my mode of thinking during my day to go, man, where's that next pair of panties on the ground?
You stepped on them. They were on Michigan Ave. You didn't even see them. But you were in a good diatribe, so I didn't want to interrupt.
My mind blanked them out. Later, I would be like, man, was that a pair of panties? How did see? Now we're going down this road of how'd they get there? What happened? There's this investigation, the CSI thing that has to happen. No, we're good.
I don't remember what track we were on. I always mess this up by making some dumb joke.
No, we were talking about. No, this is great because this is how relationships build.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to have fun in what you're doing. And if you can't have fun, it becomes mundane and you stop doing it. And that's how we stall things and what have you. And we just got to keep things moving. So this is great.
That's how I keep going.
Yeah,
having a little bit of fun. I mean, they're serious work, and it has to get done. And just like a term paper in college, and I normally do it at the end, right before it's due. But with fun, you have to do paperwork. I think thing that I know I had a point I was going to say earlier. This city to me is made up of a lot of grit and determination.
Sure.
People who are survivors, know how to figure it out. We're both a rich and a poor community. We have tons of resources and some poverty. And I think the way out for us is giving lots of people opportunity, not stacks of cash, but giving lots of people the opportunity to try things, investing in people to tinker around. I go back to, I like to use the word tinker, but I go back to when I first got a $700 grant from the Battle Creek Community Foundation. It was like 2007, 8, not really that long ago, and I was tickled pink about that.
Sure.
I got $700 to clean up my neighborhood with my neighbors.
Yeah.
And then I went and got to know my neighbors.
Yes.
And then we hung out cleaning up our street. And then, with no money, we went and started a neighborhood garden. And then we started a neighborhood association. And maybe let's go this way. And it was $700 that sparked me. And I've created other things since, with other money, of course, but also people.
But $700 is a game changer. And that's what this community does, even small supports. You have big ideas and you have small supports that can be done today. And what you're talking about is creating a farming system where I can give you what seems like a little bit of seed money.
Woo! Yeah!
A little bit of money, and I grow a community out of that.
Yes.
And so that's where that comes into play. And our foundations and what have you are not here to, create and pay for everything. They're here to create an environment where we can flourish as a community, and then we have to do the rest of the work.
Water the plants.
Water the plants.
Yep. But we have to tend to them. You got to go out and talk to the plants. You got to make sure stuff's not eating them.
See,
until it's time.
What's cool is you got people yelling out the windows at the tracksuits. It's become an in vogue thing. To be honest with you, I still, I'm a child of, I was born in '69. Okay. And I grew up in the '80s, but I had velour tracksuits, and all those, and I'm like, do I pull that out today? Is it gonna be too hot?
Yeah. No,
Look, for those of us that don't know, Google this. Do I wear a dickie? And for those of you that don't know, that was you had to be a young kid.
A dickie.
Yep.
I thought you were saying dickies. Now I know exactly what you meant. I know.
And what a dickie was before dickies were made was a turtleneck with no sleeves, no body to it, and it just went down to here on the front and the back, and you had to wear that underneath a sweater.
I got an idea where I want to do a Dickie Fest. It's a pub crawl where everybody just wears Dickies.
I love it. I love it. Now,
Dickies from the '80s.
Dickies from the '80s.
I didn't think Dickies were going to come up in this conversation. This is what's amazing about this really scripted show.
Yeah. The best Dickie ensemble. Don't show up with just the Dickie in your stomach out. That don't work for everybody. Jeremy, me and you may get arrested. Okay.
Yes.
So
surprisingly, I've never been arrested.
Well, it is shocking, but I've never seen you do anything that critical. You go right to the edge, and then you turn around and look for something else to do.
The other day, I had to meet WWMT down there by the river, and I got there last minute. And my stepfather taught me sometimes that you just have to not ask for permission and see what happens. And so I just popped my truck up on the curb. And I was like, I'm going to get in and out. I'm not going to get in any trouble. And the downtown police officer was there in like 2 minutes. And I'm giving the interview, and he's there waiting for me. And what a nice, I think Mr. Burke is his name. Great dude, really, really friendly. And he's like, hey, you Jeremy? Yeah, I'm Jeremy. He's like, you can't park on the sidewalk like that. And I was like, oh, I know. And I knew I was going to get in trouble, but I thought maybe I won't. And but then I made friends and invited him to the Downtown Business Association we've been starting because we want to connect downtown businesses to other people in power. Yes, let's do it.
What the cool thing about not asking, let's almost get hit. Look at that. This is a good example of when you were talking about not asking permission.
Jaywalking.
This is and not asking permission operates the same way. You wouldn't ever try and cross I-94 without looking what the traffic patterns were.
No.
So the same thing exists for not asking permission. You need to understand what the traffic patterns of your environment are before you run out to the road and get hit.
Exactly.
What we do now, especially in our youth, is just run out to the road, and then we want to blame the driver for hitting us. So, yes, don't ask permission. But,
I've gotten a little bit more careful in my...
But if you can say this is how I added value, no matter how weird it is, you and I have been friends for a long time. And when you're my friend, I don't have to agree with everything you do.
Right.
But I have to understand the common denominator is you're trying to help in a different way.
Where's it going?
And how can I help him get there?
Might not always be the way that other people do. And sometimes it could be wrong.
How can I help him get there without looking for panties in the street?
Well, jeez, man. It's going to have to be really distracting for me to... Andy Helmboldt and I found 100 tortillas in the street. And Vanya Word and I found a weave.
See? And there needs to be a show about all the random things you found in the street. And then a show about what'd you do next? Did you clean them? Are you going to go back wherever those undergarments are? You can go pick it up.
No, I'll have you know that's a line that I don't cross.
There you go.
I don't pick up street panties.
It takes a village, man.
It does. There's somebody that'll pick up street panties, but it's not me.
Yeah. So, no, I mean, you look at these sandwich boards we have down our street now.
Yes.
That celebrates all types of cultures. Our Hispanic heritage, our people of color heritage, our black heritage that we have here, the mosaic of our new friends we have from Burma and the Congo and what have you. It's great learning all these different cultures and all these people in a way that's fun.
I'm excited about the folks from the Congo. I met some of them about a year ago, and know if you know this, but I speak French, and I went to school to speak French.
Yes.
And they speak French.
Yes.
So as soon as I heard about it, I was like, I gotta go talk to these people because I want to just speak some French.
Look, podcasters, Jeremy is a sleeper, okay? You see him around here doing whatever. This guy speaks multiple languages. He probably a citizen of 3 other countries.
He's working on it.
And the thing about that that's super cool is you bring all of that knowledge back to the city and do dynamic things with it. And so let's look.
That's a nice
7
compliment.
podcasters. I'm gonna be out here doing that too. You help Jeremy and keep him regulated. That's all we gotta do. It takes a village to keep us regulated.
Regulators,
Yeah. Right.
mount up. That's my wife actually plays that song in her classroom when she wants them to pay attention.
Absolutely.
She'll play a little quick and she'll go, regulators, and they'll get have her attention. And they'll say, mount up. Yes.
You know, and that's not to escape the arts and culture talent that we have here. And as
we have so much.
As we're passing the W.K. Kellogg Foundation, you know, we take a look at the art that's on the front of this building of this global foundation by
Jay Lee.
And that's all cultivated by a young lady from our school systems, from our town. And there's mosaics all over this town with her and others that we can be proud of. We need to be lifting that up as arts and culture and creating other arts and culture at the same time. And I think we're progressively headed that way. There's some leaders that are working hard on that. And then that becomes part of the fabric of our economic development.
Well, and remind ourselves that it is economic development.
Yeah.
And we need to be, I say this a lot, we need to think of ourselves as a part of a region. Not Battle Creek is trying to compete with whomever, or Battle Creek wants to become X, or why aren't we like these guys? Let's be us.
Yes.
Let's be unique Battle Creek and a part of a regional whole. Let's draw people into Battle Creek from Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids for our quirky uniqueness.
Absolutely.
And let's also go and participate in their things and not feel guilty about it. But I mean, our food here, even right now, and I know there's much more to come. I think we've got a great food scene in this town.
We do. We do.
I mean, Umami Ramen, Torty Taco, Lucky Rooster, Kitchen Proper, and that's just to name a few fairly recent ones.
Just this week, I had a friend of mine that I wanted to take to dinner, and I'm like, man, where are we gonna go? You know, I don't really know their food palette or what have you. And we get in the car, and I'm like, Italian? You want to go downtown? You want to come over here to Lucky Rooster? Where do you want to go? And then I ended up going, you know what? I want the ambiance of the airport. Ended up on the other side of town in Waco. And I'm like,
nice.
Geez, I remember a time when we had 2 food choices, and they all included the Griffin. You know, and the Griffin's cool too.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
That's a different food choice. So, you know, we don't want a whole bunch of 8 things that are the same. Those downtowns don't work.
Nope.
And we need to get more variety in here. And when we get done with this hotel and the development thereof, you're going to have a place that you get out of your car. You know, we got to figure out the parking problem now.
Yes.
You know, and you're going to walk to wherever you're going to go.
People think we have a parking problem in this town, but they're going to wish
they ain't seen nothing.
They're going to wish this was a parking problem.
Add 5,000 more workers.
Yes.
And see what happens.
It's going to be a parking problem. It's going to be a good thing. We'll figure it out. Well, also, the same people that complain about parking in this town are happy to both do 2 things. Walk across Walmart's parking lot and walk for 17 blocks in Chicago to get to some sweet shit.
Yeah.
So if only they can train their mind to walk downtown Battle Creek.
Absolutely.
So here we are where we started.
Woo!
Cafe Rica, a little half-an-hour walk. Episode 23.
We're feeling better than we did when we started.
Operation Fit, Operation Fat. ready to go. Hey, thanks, Eric.
No, hey, thank you, sir. It's always a pleasure to be with you.
You wanted to come back in short shorts?
I wanted to come back anytime, and I know exactly what short shorts I'm going to wear, and this is going to be great.
My thigh game is really sweet in my short shorts.
Well,
so
you
bring
know,
it.
It's got to match the top, too.